The Pontifical North American College, next to the Vatican in Rome, along with Cardinal Timothy Dolan as head of the New York Archdiocese, are now facing complaints of misconduct against subordinates, abuse cover-up, and retaliation against whistleblowers. Both the seminary and the cardinal are being sued for corruption, involving many players bent on protecting the homosexual subculture. Sadly, apart from his refusal to stop giving Holy Communion to pro-abortion politicians, Cardinal Dolan has a well-known history of being pro-gay and cover-up. For instance, as the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in 2014, he welcomed a move for gays and lesbians to march under their own banner for the first time in the history of the Catholic parade. His un-Catholic welcome to people who euphorically proclaim their public sins against nature caused a great scandal among the faithful. As Milwaukee's Archbishop in 2013, Cardinal Dolan tried to move $57 million to protect church funds from victims of clerical sex abuse. And in New York, a leaked transcript exposed Cardinal Dolan's 2016 Victims' Compensation Program as a scheme to avoid paying settlements to abuse victims. We know that from 1994 to 2001, when he was a Monsignor, Cardinal Timothy Dolan served as the rector of the Pontifical North American College in Rome. Bombshell allegations have emerged in a lawsuit naming His Eminence and the Pontifical North American College. The seminary rector, Illinois priest Father Peter Harmon, the seminary vice rector, Washington priest Father Adam Park, and others. It is highly disconcerting, nay scandalous, that Cardinal Dolan continues to be the principal chaplain of the American Association of the Order of Malta, whose leadership appeared to turn a blind eye to this shameful situation. Therefore, for the good name and reputation of the order, especially for the Tuitio Fidei and the Obsequium Pauperum, His Eminence must be immediately suspended from his position until such time as a thorough investigation and or verdict of the lawsuit which has been filed against him and the North American Seminary is reached. Let his innocence or guilt be proved. But until then, the code of the Order of Malta must be obeyed. In fact, according to the article on the topic of suspension and dismissal, it reads the relevant parts. Paragraph 1. Suspension is a temporary disciplinary measure which may be imposed on a member of the order if he is found to be in an unworthy status, and or if the member is under investigation by the courts for grave acts of moral nature. And paragraph 2 states that dismissal is a definitive disciplinary measure which may be imposed if a member adopts a conduct gravely incompatible with his membership in the order. Now, it's not necessary to quote sacred scripture or the Catholic Catechism, let alone the Doctor of the Church, St. Peter Damian, to confirm that homosexuality is an evil perversion, a sin against nature, and abhorrent, even to the devil itself, according to St. Catherine of Siena, another doctor of the Church. For a chaplain of Malta to be pro-gay and to cover up for those who indulge in this abhorrent sin is a grave act of a moral nature, unworthy and gravely incompatible with membership of the Order of Malta, let alone to be a principal chaplain. His Eminence Timothy Cardinal Dolan is wont not to correct the homosexual priests under his care, and also to cover up for their despicable behavior while ignoring the victims. his scandalous welcoming of public sodomites of the LGBTQ+ at the St. Patrick's March, a Catholic march, demonstrates beyond any shadow of doubt how indifferent he is to good and evil, to virtue and sin, to truth and error, and of course, to all the church teaching. This is unworthy of a Christian, let alone a bishop and a cardinal and the principal chaplain of the Order of Malta. The American Association is called to honor and adhere to the code of the order by calling His Eminence to a meeting of the disciplinary committee so that he can properly and lawfully be suspended and, if proven guilty by the courts, removed for good from his position of principal chaplain. The Tuitio Fidei spurs all of us to take a stand to defend the faith and morals of our Holy Mother Church, and also to protect the good name of the Order of Malta. If the American Association chooses to ignore this tragic reality and to turn a blind eye to this disreputable situation, thus refusing to apply the determinations of the code, it must provide the reasons for such behavior, for the knowledge of all members in America. Moreover, if or when the matter is brought to the public knowledge, it will be not only highly embarrassing for the American Association, which will have to explain why it has not applied the rules of the code. As a matter of moral conscience, this serious matter cannot be simply ignored, and a blind eye cannot be turned to this scandal. The matter cannot be led to rest. Sodomy may be unfortunately legal in this country, but we know better. We are Catholics. The website of Church Militant has an exhausting series of videos and transcripts denouncing His Eminence Timothy Cardinal Dolan. Sources are available upon request. Now, when young seminarians are abused or leave the seminary scandalized by the behavior of the predators and the scandalous cover-up by members of the church hierarchy, the words of the gospel come to mind. But he that shall scandalize one of these little ones that believe in me, it would be better for him that a millstone should be hanged about his neck, and that he should be drowned into the depths of the sea. I'm Raymond de Souza, a Knight of Magistral Grace of the Sovereign and Military Order of Malta. God bless you.